Whatever it is, I don't care. Today we're talking about start a new life and be happy. That's what we're talking about today. Go ahead, Grace. Tell me some reason why somebody can't be here. That's what you was about to tell me.
Oh, I stopped when you said it's.
That's okay. You go ahead, tell me.
Okay. Kim's son is in town, and he said they were on their way to dinner. So
he ain't never in town. I get it. He's trying to go to NFL. That makes sense.
that's it. She's the only person that sent something to
All
him.
right.
The Linsoms, they are here now, but they had prayer, but they made it on time.
Okay, good. Gotta, we still gotta train y'all to be on time, but y'all will get it together. Start on time. No, excuse me. That was my subconscious talking. Start a new life and be happy. Yes. Can we do that? Now, before we get started, 3 things are going to happen today. Well, 4 things are going to happen today. The obvious things is we're going to read from Pathfinder. 1, I'm going to tell you about starting a new life. 2, I'm going to tell you about being happy. 3, and you're going to reject me the whole time. 4. There you go.
I understand what you're saying, Antonio, but
yeah, So just so we clear, Carlisle. Just so we clear.
That Carlisle.
Yes, just so we clear. 4 things gonna happen today. Today we're talking about start a new life and be happy. All of you should have.
This is already cut up. I'm just saying.
Yes, all of you should have your Pathfinder book. If not, there's a digital copy. There you go, that we can give to you until yours comes out. and 4 things gonna happen today. We know this is a camera zone class. 4 things gonna happen today. Thing number 1. Adonia is still.
I don't have mine yet.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I'm going to get it.
Okay, good.
As soon as I can.
Okay. I thought your big sis may have been driving because she's trying to get out.
I'm getting ready to because I would really like to be here all day. But yes, I have my book. I got it before I left to go to the South Africa. So I'm acting right, kind of.
I so appreciate you. All of you who got the book, if you could go leave a review, it's the hardest thing to get. If you can go leave a review wherever you got it from, you would sell more books. Like genuinely, you would sell more books. Promise you that. But anyway, 4 things will happen here.
That's something to fix, though, isn't it? How can you actually fix that? Because people tell you about your book and they enjoy your book, but to actually get them to put it on paper and or know what I mean?
The pool would be with you always. Some people just won't give so they can enter into their master's joy.
If you love me, you would write this damn review.
That's some people just won't love you and write this damn review to enter into the master's joy. You understand? It just is what it is.
I've been on some shenanigans all week, so y'all about to take this.
No, it's all good. It's all good. 4 things gonna happen here, Damali. Thing number 1, I'm gonna tell you about Pathfinder. We're gonna come from chapter 1. Thing number 2, I'm gonna tell you about starting a new life. Thing number 3, I'm gonna tell you about being happy. And thing number 4, you're gonna reject me the whole time. Those are the 4 things that's gonna happen. Because when you tell folk to start a new life, they won't praise. And when you tell folk to be happy, they're so educated in why they should not be happy. Whenever you tell people good news, they tend to say, well, it would be good news if I benefited from it. When in all things benefit from, good and bad. Now, excuse me for being in America. Every now and then we end our sentences with prepositions that would not fly in Europe. but benefit from is a full sentence in America. Now that we understand this, Grace, we have now thine go-to pathbender. We get immediately to it. I was going to start y'all pathbender today. I'm strategically waiting next week or the week after. It will make sense. Y'all gotta get. They got like 3 books you're gonna get. It's not that they're not completed; they are. But there's something I need to do today to make. I need to make you fertile soil, or at least make sure you're fertile soil, and that happens today. Is that okay, Grace? It's probably not okay, but it's gonna happen though. Either way. Even if it's not okay, it's gonna happen. You understand? It is what it is. Last week we talked about in the beginning there was
Right. Love.
yes, well, fair enough. In the beginning there was only the void. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the first sentence of Pathbender right now. In the beginning, there was only the void. In fact, matter of fact, I might, for those of you who are visual learners. So I'm going to do this 2 ways. Pick up your book, read along with me. And the folk who would be watching us later, I need to stretch this out a little bit. The folk who would be watching us later, I'll share it on the screen. Here we go. In the beginning, there was only the void. Darkness consumed all, and a silence that echoed through eternity. But then sparked the light, and from that light came forth a great power. All this, I could spend 16 weeks talking about this. A power that could bend the fabric of reality, that could shape the world, bring forth a new life. And so it was that the first Pathbender was born. Grace, who's the first Pathbender? It's not explicitly, it's implicitly stated here. Anybody? Who's the first Pathbender?
Adam.
Adam or
Fair enough. God. God is
okay.
the right answer. Although Adam was a type of God, that you would have got half a point for that. God is the first Pathbender.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. God is the first Pathbender. Now, with the power of creation at their fingertips makes more sense now, doesn't it, Grace?
Yes.
The Pathbenders shaped the world. Makes even more sense, doesn't it, Grace? And brought forth great civilization. This is starting to make some good sense now, y'all. This is starting to make some good sense now that you know that I implicitly made this in alignment with Jerome's Bible.
Okay, because I said that when I saw in the beginning, I was like, okay, we in Genesis. We in Genesis.
That was on purpose, Grace. Okay. That was on purpose.
I heard a loud godlike voice in the beginning.
That's right. There you go. with Keith David voice, the Silver Throat. That's his name on Instagram. Y'all know who I'm talking about, huh? The black guy. Y'all know him. Y'all know him. He got
the homeless man.
What? Okay, pull up Keith David, Grace.
They live.
We will not make this man. Say it again, Jamal.
They Live. The movie with him and Roddy Piper, and the greatest fight scene all time.
So right. Pull up Keith David, Silver Throat. Everybody know who he is. As soon as you see him, black, white, Jew, or Gentile, he even narrated Silver Throat. There's only one Silver Throat, Grace. There's only one Silver Throat. I don't know what all this is. You must not be on Google. I'll put Silver Throat Keith. Silver Throat Keith.
You know, like Keith Sweat. Anyways,
that's his name.
There he is. Okay.
There you go. Go ahead. He's done over 60.
Oh,
everybody know who it is. Everybody know who it is.
Yes.
Black, white, Jew, and Gentile. We all know who it is.
He was the guy. He was the pastor on Greenleaf. I love
him. Yes, he was.
I probably should have said pastor from Greenleaf.
Yeah, and he was in that movie Platoon years back. Yeah,
he has voice over 100 cartoon characters, video games.
Princess and the Frog, yeah.
There you go. Voice of Spawn, right. Silver Throat is how Trinace heard his voice, heard in the beginning, with his voice in the beginning. If you the new the Bible series that came out with Touched by an Angel Lady? What's her name? Rima?
Oh yeah. Roma Downey.
Roma Downey. Yeah. That's Keith David narrating. That's him narrating. Yes, I might watch that tonight. That's him narrating. It's a good series. In fact, I will watch that tonight. I sure will. I sure will. Anyway, in the beginning, for many generations, God lived in harmony with the world. It's making some sense. It's making some Grace. This is okay. Let me start over, Grace.
It is, because when I read it, I was like, wait, did he pull this from? Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning, there was the void, darkness. And darkness, I say it right there, because soon the world, all sides echo. Then a spark of light appeared, and from that light came forth a great power. Come on, Jerome. This is right up your Tuesday Bible study alley.
I noticed that when I read the first beginning of it. I noticed that. But I want to see where you're going.
Okay. Oh, I'm going somewhere good today, because today we talking about start a new life and be happy. Somebody need to hear this thing. A power that could bend the fabric of reality. That power shaped the world, Grace, gave new life. And so God was born. It's kind of offensive to say God was born, but you get the idea. With the power of creation at God's fingertips. Notice I said there, because there's no gender assigned to God. In Christianity, yes. For the rest of the religious world, no. Because God is both male and female. Because how could Melissa exist if God was not a woman?
Watch it.
Let me sit back. Where is Susan? Susan is the greatest feminist on planet Earth. I know Susan agreed with what I just said right there. How can Tracy exist if God was not also a woman? I changed that statement that second time. I said also in there. With that power, Grace, right here, at God's fingertips, the pathbenders, that's plural, shaped the world and brought forth great civilization. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that's plural. Elohim is plural. Interesting. It's also a double entendre, Grace. That's when a word has two meanings. It means you. You shape. You know how Jesus in your Bible, Grace, was always talking to the 12, but also talking to 70,000 years later. It was always
Yes.
Right. It was always the same thing.
Okay. Yes.
Brought forth knowledge, wisdom, love, and used their power to heal the world. Now, while this seems like God I'm talking about here, in which I am, Grace, I'm absolutely talking about the offspring of God here. There's no doubt about it. My friends, Pathbender opens up with a strong echo of John chapter 1. Jerome likes that behavior. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Okay, all right. Strong echoes of man was born God. You missed it. Rewind, press play. Matthew, Mark, and Luke says, man, I feel you just I realized man was God. That's Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Synopsis, same optics, same view. Matthew, Mark, Luke. John says, hey, I'm not with these guys. In the beginning, God was God. God was man. Don't fool me now. Don't play with me. We starting off from verse 1, telling you top down, not bottom up. We're not waiting to the end of the story to give you the big reveal. Tracy, giving you the big reveal right now. Whoever you like, the man on the cross, that's God. Don't play with him. Watch your mouth. That's what that is John's entire attitude. The whole book. That's John's entire attitude. If you read all his pericopes, if you episodes, if you read all of his stuff, John's entire attitude is don't play with me.
Right.
If you take John out the Bible, you wouldn't even know about an age to come. That's only in John.
Don't play with me because I'm the one that he loved. That's what he's saying.
Okay, so as long as you understand, Melissa, that this understanding I'm bringing to you in Pathfinder has nothing to do with the Bible, but has everything to do with the truth. And the Bible tells an angle of the truth, not the beginning of the world, but the beginning of man. And in the beginning, God had offspring, and their power healed the world and protected all that was good.
Okay.
I need y'all to you got to be in your full awareness for these phone calls. Go ahead, Deanna.
So from what I'm understanding is the Bible tells the creation of man.
That's right.
But you're telling us the creation before man.
Say it again. What I'm telling you is what?
The creation before man, because you said they brought forth knowledge, wisdom, and love. They used their power to heal the world and protect all that was good. And you were saying this particular line is talking about the offspring of God. So before earth was created, before Adam and Eve, before the creation, before Adam and Eve, God had offspring to help shape the world in the light, which is from the preference, the prologue, the light, the love, and free will.
Fair enough. So I'm saying yes, and I'm saying more. If you only remember that, you'll be doing a good job. Phil, do me a favor. Unmute your mic. Can you give me another word for offspring?
Child.
Thank you. I knew you was gonna get it right the first time.
By the way, while we're on the phone, I've got this 37 miracles of Jesus in chronological order. And it's interesting. John has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on his side. 7 of the 8 are not on the other ones. It's just in John. And then there's only one miracle that's in all 4 Gospels. Anybody know what it is?
That would be feeding of the 5,000 fish.
That's the only one that's in all 3 Gospels. This is an interesting piece of paper.
Amazing.
So
Child's answer, but I like everything he said because what he said, he's backing up John's gospel is different, Otis. It's not the same thing. It's not. It should not. You would not, none of you got to remember, Muslims were reading the Torah before they were reading the Quran. I need y'all to receive this. So I need you to get something different about John's gospel. But Deanna, back to you. Yes, I'm saying more. Back to Phil. Child. Jerome, I'm saying explicitly, ex is a Latin word that means out of. So when you go into a building that says ex it, out of it is what that sign says. Just so we're clear. It means out of it this way is what exit means. Exodus, out of this journey. My ex, out of relationship with me. Ex nihilo, Latin word, out of nothing. This ex and anything you can think of is a Latin word that means freedom. Out of, out. So I'm saying explicitly out my loud mouth, I am telling you that offspring of the pathbender, offspring of God, means children. And I dare you to tell me where the Bible don't say children of God. I'll wait. Just to hold on, Deanna. Let me just blow everybody blood vessels in their eyeballs real quick. I'm not saying nothing different than every sacred text saying child of God. Today may be the first time in your hearing that you're explicitly hearing you are the offspring of God. You're not here to worship God. You're of the same substance as God. Homoousis is the Greek phrase there, of the same substance. You're an offspring of God, Grace. How dare you have low self-esteem? How dare you suffer from anger problems, Freeman? How dare you, Antonio, have bad financial habits when God is not struggling with finances? True story. Get ready, Deanna. I was getting ready one day for a sermon. And Aiden was making me late. That's my 15-year-old. Well, he's 14. He about to be 15.
I was going to say, wait, don't do that.
And he was like, Daddy, we're going to get you dressed. And then Ashton came in. I think he was like 1 or 2 at the time, Jerome. I was like, I wanted to tell these little motor scooters, y'all taking too god doggone long to get me to tie and put this belt around my waist. But you can't tell these little boys looking up to you, stop looking up to me, god dog it. You can't say that. So you got to be careful. So I let them make me late. It took 30 minutes to put a belt through a damn loop. If you don't got no little boys, you don't understand. And then they went all around the earth. My waist wasn't even that big at the time. And then they wanted to come with me, Tracy. So they got dressed just like their daddy. Anybody Baptist see I'm going somewhere. Got dressed just like the dad. You know what I'm saying? And then they took all doggone day doing that to Otis. But as they all finished, and we all finished, Aiden, the oldest, said, Daddy, stuck his chest out. I look like you. Rewind, press play.
Watch yourself. You better paint this picture.
If you're going to be an offspring of God, come on, Grace. You ought to look like God. You ought to act like God. Come on, Damali. You ought to have the same anger temperament as God. You're not allowed to be from my substance and not look or act like me. That's how it works, Grace. How dare you, Christians, bear the name Christ and don't act like him. Christians.
You better watch your mouth. You better watch your. You hear me? I'm older than you. Watch your mouth.
Hell, Uncle Robe.
Christian ain't a real word. Christians is what you're really saying. And if you gonna call yourself a Christian, I need to see the fruit of that spirit of a Christian. That's what Paul says. Fruits of the spirit. God, that's right. I see Tracy gets it. Tracy gets it. If you're going to be an offspring of the first path bender, then you better act like one. Your bills are not behind. Come on. You're going to bend them into your reality. I'm trying, Frida, Come on, Deanna, because I ain't even done yet. I ain't even done. I'm still in the review, Grace.
It's only 7:20, and it's 7:25. Oh,
come on, Grace. Come on, Deanna. You had a question.
I did, but it's irrelevant.
That's about right when you actively listen.
it got real irrelevant when you said, how dare you be an offspring? And that's when it got irrelevant. I know it.
You need to read it again, Grace.
It got irrelevant before that, Grace, because in my head,
he said, "Doc, that's like Charlie Murphy."
You did.
In my head, when he said child of God.
Yep.
When you read, it says the word, y'all, I'm paraphrasing, but
paraphrase all you want.
The word, and in the beginning there was the word became, the word was God, the
word was with God, the word was God, the same as in the beginning with God.
Thank you, Uncle Romero. But if you read in John, you also realize that the word was Jesus.
That's right.
And the word became flesh.
Okay. That word became flesh is what I'm telling you. Start a new life. But go ahead. Go keep going. Yeah, keep going.
So my first thought was, okay, so the first pathbender was God.
That's right.
God's offspring was the second pathbender, who was Jesus.
And you an offspring.
Yep.
And so that's when I was like, yeah, no, what I had to say was irrelevant because you just think
So let me help you. In Greek, when you translate, I've had the pleasure of translating all of the Gospel of John, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John into Greek. Beautiful. When you translate John the Gospel into Greek, around verse 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I'm sure Phil has like a Jerusalem Bible or something. I bet it's in there. It says Jesus, it doesn't say Jesus explicitly just yet at this time. Tabernacled. It says the word. That word that is used is tabernacled. Now, let me explain this here. Do not take this as a religious lesson. I want you to take this as the best, okay, let me offend some of you. The best way to understand what I'm getting ready to say for the rest of the day is to actually be a witch. That's the best way to understand. I said, let me offend some of you. This is just so we're clear. I did say that, Grace. I did preface.
You did.
Okay. What a witch does, a witch would have a rule of 3. I'll skip that for right now. It'll come back up. But a witch would respect lineage and sacred texts. And to understand this, you almost have to put away your American mind and put upon your African mind, because everybody on this call is African American. The world started in the Fertile Crescent in Africa. So we are all African American. That's you might be African American Italian, but you are African American. Period. If you don't believe that, let me get you pregnant. And see the memory of your uterus come out in 9 months. The genetic memory of every womb on the planet is Africa. I'm not making this a racial thing. I'm using specific words. I don't want you to hear black. I don't want you to hear race. I want you to hear a place. And I want you to hear that in order to fully understand what I'm getting ready to say, a tabernacle meant something in Africa. Can I push it, Trinace? If you go read Exodus, Otis, I swear to you this happened. Moses, you're going to build something. What I'm going to build? A tabernacle. How I'm going to build it? According to what I say. And if you mess up one thing, I'm going to kill you. I ain't going to lie to you. Ain't no sense in me playing with you. Death be with your head. Don't I do it. See what happened. I dare you go read Exodus 26, 27. I dare you go do it. Now, you don't find out later until one of the world's first ancient sermons, Hebrews, that's an ancient sermon. That's why it reads that way. Hebrews 6, 7, and 8, Grace. The tabernacle was in heaven. You're missing it. Yeah, I'm missing it. The tabernacle was in heaven. And Tracy,
come on now, unreachable.
Okay. And God said, well, I ain't got no place to be down here no more. They done fooled around and separated themselves. Genesis chapter 3. So I need to put heaven on earth.
Watch it.
So build this tabernacle up here, downscaled down there. This is why, Jerome, according to your Bible, God could only be in that tabernacle in the Old Testament. Because God couldn't be in no sin. God had to be in heaven. It's also why the veil had to split from top to bottom, Melissa. Because God ain't got no time to be regulated to no holy of holies. God said, Otis is holy of holies. I'll live in him.
Watch yourself.
I am. I'll do it again. 14,000 years ago. Is that right? No, that's not right. 6,000 years ago in Egypt, the Fertile Crescent, about Mount Sinai. I'm sounding making sense, ain't it, Jerome? That's why you got these churches name these things. God said, now what you're going to do, Trinace, is you're going to build what I got up here. Because I'm not coming down there in just anything. It don't have to make sense to you, because when David tried to build, oh, David, you can't build. Player, you can't do it. You can't do it. I can't live in just anything. And I can't live in something beautiful with blood on his hands. Watch yourself.
Ooh, watch it.
Watch yourself. I live in peace. Jerusalem means city of peace, people of praise. Just anyway, pay attention, pay very attention. This is not a Bible lesson. This is a ancient ancestors' lessons telling you you've been doing this wrong, Prophet Jerry. This is why I love history, because history, Damali, would tell us we lost our way. The gospel used to shine at 100. Today, 2 at best. The gospel is a 2-watt light bulb at best today. At best. That's what happens to truth generation after generation. It gets diluted. Hear me well. Don't throw stones at me just yet. God said, build a tabernacle, but build on heaven, in heaven, on earth. Later, Jesus flips that. Whatever you do on earth shall be. Back to my point, Grace. Talisha, you are the offspring of God. Stop letting people like me tell you God is some distant thing that you pray to. Nope. God is a near thing. That's you. And every time you struggle in your problems, all you do is prove to me God is a struggler. Start a new life. I got you, Deanna. Every time you cuss me out, because God taking too long to fight your battles, all you doing to me is proving to me God is bipolar. Every time you hate your husband, I can't be in this marriage no more. I can't do it. You telling me God is a divorcee. Because we are not children of God in the way we understood it. We are offspring of God, child directly. I mean, God's first child, Melissa, was you. You missed it. There's only one of us in the room. Y'all out here acting like God got 8 billion children. Today's God got one child. That's everybody on this call. One. Rewind, press play. This is so high. This is so high. Only a few of us is getting this right now. There's one of us in this room. God got one child, and you are God's only offspring.
Come on, many members.
Many members. Say it, Grace. Where you get that from?
Yeah, got it from the word. All right.
Oh, so Baptist. And what is saying the word?
We are one body, many members.
Many members. All right, come on, Deanna. Come on, man. I'm making some sense here tonight, though. I am really making some sense.
If I am receiving correctly what you are saying.
And you are. I promise you, you are. I promise you are.
If I am a child of God.
That's right. The only child.
I also have the power of God, which means also a creator like God.
Can you pick up a blank piece of paper and create something?
I've been doing that the whole time we've been talking.
Can a dog do it?
Nope.
A goldfish?
Mm-mm.
Monkey?
Mm-mm.
You really gonna make me work this hard? We are the only species on the planet that can take nothing and make connotation.
Just
Pun
said
intended.
that I was coming back from having lunch all the way back to Starbucks.
Come on.
And I can't remember why I said that, but I was thinking about, I don't know why I was thinking about we are all, because we are, let us make man in our image. I said, okay, yeah, we are
You
God.
are the offspring.
We're the only people that can make nothing from something. Something from nothing.
You're the promised son, Grace. You're the promised son. You are Isaac. See, Jerome, you and I both know I'm being very conservative to the sacred text. I am actually lifting this sacred text in such a prestige of honor that it would offend anybody that's not kingdom-minded. You are Isaac. You are God's only begotten son. See, what y'all let people like me do, Frida, is you let me convince you Jesus was the greatest only begotten son. And that's a damn lie. Jerome, tell them why it's a lie. Tell them why Jesus cannot be the greatest. It's simple.
Because Jesus said greater things.
That's it. Come on, Uncle Rose.
That you'll do than what I've done. You ain't right.
He's not playing fair, Uncle Ron. He's not playing fair.
But you know what? Scriptures are running through my head as you're talking, that he breathed into man and man became a living. Every
soul.
Man has a piece of God in them. See, so I'm saying we're co-laborers with Christ. So all of those things.
I ain't stepped outside the Bible one time.
He's only the first time.
Oh, I'm listening to you, boy.
I have not. I'm telling you, you can get the most conservative preacher in here on the planet, and they would agree with everything that I'm saying. Even the most conservative imam, I am purposely staying inside the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah. I promise you I am. And I am telling you, Deanna, you're not just correct. You were born to be correct because you God's only son. Oh. Jesus is not the greatest. Stop letting me, Trinace, tell you how untouchable Jesus is when Paul and Jesus said, be ye perfect. But then you let somebody like me say, can't nobody be perfect. That ain't what Jesus said. And that ain't what Paul said. Have this mind. Finish it for me.
Me and you, which is also in Christ Jesus.
Okay, thank you so much. Just so we're clear, I have not been liberal with any sacred text in 41 minutes. I just want to be very clear with this. I've been way up here, Otis, but I have not been liberal with any sacred text. There is only one child of God, and that child of God is named Talisha, Frida, Jamal, Damali. And the only reason we call Renee Renee is for the only reason we call Jesus Jesus. Because Jesus' mama told us to call Susan Susan. That's it. That's it. That's it. No. That's a fact. The only reason we call Jesus Jesus, because somebody, you gonna name this boy Jesus. You sure right. I sure will. Because I ain't gonna talk no more if you don't, because you can have me shut up silent for 4 months. That's an obscure text in the Bible, but it's a real thing though. It's a real thing in there. It really is. It really is in there. It really is. As weird as it sounds.
This piece of paper, his name gonna be John.
You understand? So my birth certificate say Susan. You're gonna call me Susan. You understand? I'm Susan Bolt until I meet Phil. And then I'm Susan Bolt Sorrentino. Still God. Susan's still the only offspring. Her mama just said, call her Susan. That's all. Man, I really need you to receive this, Frida. I'm telling you, y'all be out here with personal problems. Can you imagine if God woke up with a personal problem with you? That's tough. Melissa, that's so tough. Can you imagine? Do you mind if I be personal? I was born in 1981, July 20th to be specific. And growing up in Galveston, Texas, you weren't supposed to be gay. What was that?
Facts.
You was not supposed to be gay in the 80s. Let me tell you something. If you was gay in the 80s, two things were guaranteed. I'm not telling you these are facts. I'm telling you these are opinions. You was guaranteed to get AIDS and you was guaranteed to go to hell.
Yep.
I didn't tell you these are facts. That's quite offensive, both things I said. I'm just telling you, you ain't never lived to the 80s if you don't think that's true. The 80s was a terrible decade for gay people. Oh, but cousin Kerry, real name, he's dead now. My cousin Phil Kerry wasn't just gay. Phil, he was fine gay. And I mean, fine gay. And he became a woman in the 80s. Think I'm lying. I'm not lying to you. Cousin Kerry dead as mud. He dead. I don't know how he died. All I can tell you is Kerry was so fun. Y'all ever met one of the men that looked like a woman? You know what I'm talking about? Like naturally. Well, he became a whole woman. And Kerry then found the man. No. What? No. It's weird. Kerry found the woman that we played football with. I ain't lying to you. We was on McCowa in Houston. I don't know nothing about that. It's where the railroad tracks. It's by Hobby Airport in Houston. And we was playing football. with a homeboy who was actually a girl, and that was Carrie's girlfriend. So Carrie technically wasn't gay. He was with a girl, but Carrie was a girl and she was the boy. And my whole family hated Carrie. But Uncle Aaron, do y'all know exactly what I'm talking about? This is a real person. These are real names. Loved his son. Aaron Temple. He sleeps with his ancestors now. Yes. He just slept with his ancestors last year. Loved his gay son, Carrie Temple, no matter what. And I remember growing up, and y'all, I don't know if y'all ain't got no dysfunctional families, but Otis, in my dysfunctional family, they talk about everybody. Ain't no private business in the Smith Temple family. They use the damn lie. Ain't a
over here either.
You know Damali with that white man, huh? Ain't no private business.
They have on-purpose meetings dressed up at Thanksgiving.
And my Uncle Carrie loved his son like Christ loved the church. And no matter what. And then Carrie, my cousin, wound up having a little boy and a little girl, which is so weird. I just don't understand it. But well, I understand it today because I understand sexual orientation, sexual preference, but this is 2023 now. In the 80s, that was ununderstandable, Otis. There was no such thing as gender roles. You as a woman, shut your mouth. You as a man, go to work. This simple as that. Am I being too offensive? Because I feel like this is the 80s.
That was the 80s.
Have y'all heard some of these songs from the 80s? Some of these songs from the 80s are really sexist. We just didn't know it because we was in the 80s. Grace, do me a favor. Google sexist songs from the 80s. Just do it for me and share it on the screen while I'm talking. Just do it and share it on the screen while I'm talking. Sexist songs from the 80s. It's a real thing. It's a real look, 70s. I didn't know it's so many decades. 69 sexist song. Come on, no, right there. This is the first one. Let's do the first one.
No, that says sexiest.
Oh no.
Now I put the word sexist.
I need the worst. You can keep going. They know what I'm talking about. They're trying to ban like what's the song? Melissa Christmas time. They're trying to ban it. Chestnuts on the open
Chestnuts
fire.
roasted on an open fire.
That King Cole song.
Yeah. Anyway, you can stop it, Grace. Here's the deal. I'm trying to tell you something very important. God is so strong in some people that they defy the decade that they in. Amen. Can I tell you something I once told somebody, Tracy, that didn't make no sense, but it made sense? I'm about to say something. If you think I'm talking way up here, I'm about to go 1,000 levels higher. I told a friend of mine just recently this year, I said, you're not gay. I said, no, you definitely are gay. Don't get it twisted. You are gay. I mean, you are like super gay, but you're not gay. You are so in tune with God. See, y'all not gonna like this. Y'all not gonna like the rest of them for to say. You are so in tune with God that you have spent most of your incarnations as the other gender, and you still remember that.
Wow.
And so now you come here woke in a sleep world. You not gay. We sleep. But just stretched it out.
Did they understand you?
They did. Anybody listen to me on this call?
I got it.
No, I got it. Yeah, I got
it. For real, they not gay. We sleep. Most of the people that we know as gay are the most profoundly wise people that have ever walked this planet. but we just so culturalized and gay bashing that we forget my gay cousin was the only offspring of God. I just rounded that whole point off now. All of us are offsprings of God. Watch this here, Talisha. Watch this here. Hold on, let me bring it close. Look, Talisha, look. Not just the people we approve of. Uh-oh. Not just the people we approve of. We like that. Oh, we like that so much, Jerome. Jerome, we love. Oh, yeah, Jerome is a man of God. I approve of him. I don't like his brother, though. And then we don't know, Grace, we do that and you know it. We want God to save all the people we like.
We like. That's what Shannon said.
That's what Shannon said. The rest of y'all can go to hell.
We don't like Hitler either.
Hitler is supposed to be in hell, right? If I sit up here and say right now, Hitler's in heaven, they'll cancel me, even though
technically,
what's my man name? Neil Donald Walsh got a whole book on it. Okay, he got a whole book on it. Here's the deal. So there you go. There you go. See, it makes sense. Most of the people, AIDS has always been a racially motivated thing. Always. It was always a weapon. It's always been used as a weapon of poverty and elimination. To this day, it is still a pandemic of the poor. But I'll leave that alone. I just saw something. Okay. For sure, private messenger. You gotta make sure you do make sure you do your thing. Now hear me well. The wisest people, let me lift y'all up. I want to lift y'all up. I just got a message. Lift you up. The wisest people that ever come in your reality were the absolute people that were shunned by this world. This world has never been kind to geniuses. Not while they're alive. Oh, Phil, we love Benjamin Franklin dead. Didn't like him too much alive. Oh, we love Melissa. Steve Jobs dead. He was mean when he was alive. Martin Luther King had a dream when he was dead. He was a rebel, causing trouble when he was alive. This world is not kind of geniuses. But one thing remains the truth. Grace, I'm going to have you read this. Right here. If you would, Grace.
This is the story of the Pathbender, a sacred text that tells of a great power that can change the world and bring forth a brighter future for all. Welcome to the world of Pathbender, where you will learn the secrets to creating the life you desire by bending your reality. In this book, we will explore New Age teachings about how to follow the path of least resistance and clear resistance to manifest your desires. In our fast-paced and constantly evolving world, it's easy to get caught up in the negative energy that surrounds us. This can lead to frustration, worry, and a feeling of being stuck. However, the key to fixing this lies in our own minds and the way we choose to focus our energy. We'll learn about the importance of focusing on beauty and joy, and how it raises our vibration and enters us into the receiving mode. This is the first step in clearing resistance and manifesting our desires.
All right, we won't do nothing else in Pathbender today. I got more to say. But I got to say something. I got to say this here. Most certainly, I automatically apologize on the behalf of every carbon-based creature that has emotionally charged every subject that I have given to you. It's my fault. that taxes are bad. It is my fault that some topics are taboo. It's my fault that Talisha had to mute me because her daughter's my fault, right? All my fault. Hear me well. We are so the healers of this world, but there's so much that they put on us that stops that. And you say, Antonio, I don't know, man, because, and there is the problem. I told Deanna recently, putting her business out in the streets. I'm gonna get in trouble for this later. But I told Deanna this recently. I said, that's the only thing you came here to ascend. This do you Deanna, would you back me up, please? Would you?
Yes, you did.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing on this planet that is stopping you from manifesting without effort. That's the only thing. How many years ago I told you that now? That was objection, Your Honor. He's leading the witness. Sorry. How long ago did I tell you that?
Like this year alone, you've probably told me that maybe like 5 or 6 times.
Fair enough. Have you ever heard it before then? It's okay if you didn't.
Yeah.
You ain't give a damn though.
No.
You heard it. Okay, fair enough.
I heard it.
Fair enough. There he go. He got a point. He got an agenda.
No, that's not what
I don't know. I'm making the assumptions. I'm making assumptions. But go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Fair enough. And do you have any? Watch this here. Watch this here. Watch this here. Yesterday, not today. Yesterday. Let's not say yesterday. Last month. Okay, is this okay? Is that okay? Okay, last year. Let's go last year.
No,
you
can
could change.
do this year.
No. I want to go last year. I want to go last year. I want to go last year. Last year. 365 days ago.
Okay.
All right. You plan on fixing that situation?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. She somewhere in 365 days, she fixed it already, or she will. That's see what I'm doing. I'm leaving that up for conjecture. I'm leaving that. We don't know where she is. Is that fair? We don't know where she is. 365 days ago? Nope. Hell no. We was on the phone with Talisha earlier this week. I was like, okay, now that I heard you say all that stuff to Deanna, let me holler at you. This is what you really feel. She was like, you right. I was like, I'm so proud of your growth. I'm so proud of your growth. Now hear me out. Deanna, last year, was you gonna fix it?
No.
Over your dead body?
Pretty much.
If God would have said you're gonna die or you're gonna fix it, what would happen?
I'm gonna die.
All right, there it is. Thank you so much. Will y'all clap for her transparency, please?
Woo!
Right, by show of hands, how many of us got an issue like that? It is what it is. I don't give a damn if you judge me for it. Okay, today's got a head up, Jerome. Come on. All right. Shit. You judge me up. You won't be my friend today or tomorrow. So I go create an STS. Forget ATS. I don't need none of y'all. Forget Phil. I'm gonna keep this. We know it. Come on. Many of us, I'm not saying all, many of us got that one issue. Shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, Grace. Don't fool me now. Come on now. You don't understand. You wasn't there when I went through it.
I take it to my grave.
That's it.
To my grave.
That's it.
Did you hear Deanna drinking she sipping her tea? Did you hear she said, I said, if God came, I'm gonna have to die. God killed me. Heaven is much better than me forgiving this person. You got grace, don't you? Kill me. My son will be all right. That's
Stop it.
funny as no, that's
God got
real.
him.
This is
I
how we
know.
know. This is
I know. I'm playing
real.
with you. I'm
This
playing with
is
you.
real. But listen, this is real. Imagine another emotionally charged subject. Imagine forgiving the drunk driver that killed your 2 infants in the backseat. I'm not saying it's not.
That's tough.
Okay,
That's tough.
all right, Talisha, go ahead, Talisha. Go ahead.
For you to mention that, that's actually going on right now. My coworker lost her 2 grandchildren on 45. And the funeral is next week, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old.
That's crazy.
But just when you said that, that is, yeah.
And she gonna go to church, y'all. And somebody gonna tell this lady, God is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. We gotta
And not the cross. Ugh.
No, hold on. Trinace, let me. Talisha and all her bonnet beauty just said, I never put those words together before, but you got some bonnet beauty going on. You look like you worked out today. And all her bonnet beauty just told us she knows somebody drunk driving and killed her kids, innocent kids. And now Frida, somebody like me gonna say everything's perfect. Yeah, what you talking about? I don't give a damn about your tour. I ain't buying a ticket for your everything perfect tour. She better let Otis keep donating them tickets. I'm not donating nothing. Everything ain't perfect. Oh, y'all don't want to be human with me. Is this not okay?
I'm not trying to hear.
You use a lie.
I'm not trying to hear. We don't weep as those who have no hope. I'm not trying to hear that right now. I'm not trying to hear that.
Let's push that further. Let's push it further. That little 14-year-old boy that came over here and molested one of your kids. Now, where I come from, we fight kids. That's where I come from. Now, I don't know. I'm not.
So a lady that was running a daycare, she killed her husband because she found out he was molesting the kids at her daycare, and now she going to jail.
She did not have a jury of her peers.
Up here on the East Coast.
She did not have a jury of her peers. A jury of her peers
would have found her innocent.
I don't even know why we hear y'all. I don't even.
You saw me clapping.
that lawyer. Yeah, that lawyer said we can't use this one. We can't use Susan. Susan's got like values. We can't use her. They dismissed all the jurors. That's how that worked. That's why they get to pick a jury. Here's the deal. It's hard to justify injustice, but it comes back, Grace, to this one great understanding that I put in Pathfinder early. God had an offspring, and that offspring was the healer of the world. Who you think that is? You. Nah, I need y'all to see that. I need you to get that this world is jacked up. And I got you, Deanna, and sitting here waiting for the Lord to come back so he can fix it is bull. That's trash. What a trash philosophy that is. For you to do nothing with your life-changing power, for you to do nothing with your kenoching, with your forgiveness, so God can come back and kill everybody at the same time? Is that not what you think the rapture is? Let me help y'all out. What you think the rapture is? God, I'm not gonna heal nobody. Come rapture everything. And you go to church and you pray for Hosanna. Come. Or Tracy, forgive. Where I figured it, Susan. If God wanted the world ended, God would have did it already. Since that didn't happen, seems like Melissa got work to do. Nah, you're right, Trinace. I see you in the chat. Many of us use religion as an excuse not to a sin. All right, come on down.
So now I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start off with my second question because the first question may be a little offensive. So I'm going to start off with the light.
Ooh, I want the first one.
When you say, okay, so if we are
the
offspring of God,
what every sacred text says,
and the rapture is God coming back, how can there be a rapture when he's already here?
Okay, so that's a good critical thinking of the text. The rapture is a very hard text to describe because it only happens one time in the text and there's no theology around it, but that 1, 3, 4 verse span, and Paul never talks about it again. So we're never going to be able to answer your question if I apply hermeneutics, which means staying in the Bible and Bible only in that century. So it's going to be a very hard question to answer. So I'm never going to be able to answer it. I do apologize to you for this, but you get the point that I was making. And the point that I was making was you are the rapture. You are the forgiveness. That's the point I was making. If you want to lift up somebody's soul and get them out of here, tell Renee it's going to be okay. Give her the tools and get her out of here, which is poverty.
Okay,
Grace, I worked on that all night.
Yeah, I got that one. Okay, I got that.
That was going to be my next question. So the rapture is once you realize you are the pathbender, you are God's offspring, then you are the rapture of those who are still left in darkness.
Right. That's right. Nobody's going to disagree with that. And here's the deal. I've talked about a bunch of emotional stuff. And as a speaker, I know better because there's just 19 people on this call. About 8 of y'all kept walking with me while 11 of y'all was still stuck in one of those terrible examples. You know the examples. No, as a speaker, we know better. But I didn't come to here to give you a keynote today. I came here to tell you to start a new life and be happy. I mean, when you think about it, Talisha, it makes sense. If I'm going to tell you to start a new life and be happy, I can't be me. You ain't going to listen. I can't be passive. You ain't going to listen. I can't tell you everything's good, Melissa. You ain't going to listen. So what I got to do? Trigger you. So you can see you need to start a new life and be happy.
Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't the rapture when Jesus comes back and we all go, people that are already asleep in the ground, whatever, and those that are alive are carried up off the earth, and then the tribulation begins?
Okay, that is exactly correct. And then there's 3 different ways to view that tribulation, but you're exactly correct. You're exactly correct.
And then we everyone comes back at the end of the tribulation, when those that during that rough time, those that believe and go through a lot of pain, or starvation or anything else.
Yep. A lot of Jews will say you're in that tribulation now. Right now, what you have, so there's 3 ways to look at the tribulation. This 1,000 years of peace, 1,000 years of horror. Susan is right. Susan shares a view of many in which there would be 1,000 years of something. And here's the deal. This is drawn from sacred text. Like, this isn't like Susan didn't like watch Care Bears or something and make this up. This is in the Bible, for just so we're clear. Like, this is drawn from sacred text, all right? It's drawn from sacred text. And the idea here is that Jesus
Right in the Bible.
Yeah, it's very so much. Is that Jeremiah? Is that, I mean, the author? Yep.
It's the Jeremiah Study Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah.
David Jeremiah.
Really great.
It's really great. Right. So just so y'all know, Susan is coming from the Bible. All right. just so you know. Just so you know. And that's actually a very Islamic way that's the most important Islamic way in which, actually, that's the only Islamic way. I won't say only because people change. Susan has a very Islamic way of looking at the rapture because the Quran has a rapture too. Jesus comes, he is the Messiah. In the Quran, Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus defeats the Antichrist. I forget, it's an Aramaic word for the Antichrist. I'm gonna forget to pronounce it here. He gets mortally wounded at Mecca. Yeah, I know. At the temple, he gets mortally wounded at the temple, dies at the temple, and that ushers in 1,000 years of peace. But during that time, there's a whole bunch of tribulation. Blah 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 blah. Susan is right. Of course, she's 33% right because there's two other ones there that you can look at. Some of you would believe that you go to sleep and wake up in heaven immediately. Some of you feel like that happens almost immediately. And I'll give you an idea about this. Here's how you know if you fall with Susan. I mean, anybody like Susan. Think about the person. This is very important. You have to do it this way. This is emotionally charged, but it's not as emotionally charged as kids getting hit by drunk cars or AIDS or something, right? So I want you to think about the person you love, who loved you the most. Let's say that, and they died. And I'm talking about somebody that really died. Are they in heaven right now? If you said yes, you don't agree with Susan. If you said, ooh, I don't know, you agree with Susan. If you said not yet, you agree with Susan. That's how you test that. Your view of what happens when you die, and there's 3 correct ways, and they're all correct. They're all correct. Let's talk about me so y'all can be comfortable. Is my mother in heaven? She's been dead since November 13th. Or is she asleep, awaiting for the Lord to return? Now, for her, Renee, it would feel like a moment. And a lot of, without a doubt, Susan is Baptist. I'm not sure if y'all know that. That is a very Baptist view. Like, without so your whatever field that y'all come from, that is Baptist. Remember, it was Lutheran, but in this order, it was Catholic, Anglican, Lutheran, and then Baptist. And every branch of denomination springs from that. What Baptists hold, and everybody who agrees with this flows from Baptist, is something called total depravity. It means you share in Adam's nature. One person was born on the planet, Adonia. We're a man, we're a woman, yes. Grace, would you hatch from an egg, Deanna? No? Did you come from goldfish gallbladders or something? No, you came from Adam. Okay. Since you share in Adam's nature, and I agree with Susan here. I agree 100% here. You also share in Adam's sin, his curse. I agree 100%. 100%. If I'm of Adam, I'm cursed like him too. I need to get better. Y'all, half of y'all, no, more than half of y'all theology is this here. Go ahead, Talisha. Grace to Talisha. More than half of y'all theology is this here. Susan is speaking to more than half of y'all. Go ahead, Grace to Talisha.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you and saying, yeah, because when
you are super, but I know your Baptist church.
Yeah, when you said
in your church,
grandma,
you can lose salvation.
Right now, grandma is asleep in Jesus.
Okay, asleep in Jesus. She ain't up there yet.
She ain't there yet.
All right, then. So you and Susan read the same books, and you're right. Please, no, I'm not discounting you. You're right. There's just 3 different ways to look at that, though. Go ahead, Talisha. This is important. No, this is important.
Okay, so obviously I'm not reading the same Bible as y'all. I was listening to this guy on YouTube. I don't know, okay, so I'll tell you why it happened, then explain why it led me to listen to this.
I'm very interested.
I basically was working at home and I heard a song play in my head. And I noticed like, okay, this song keeps playing in my head. And it was used to be my sister's song. I was just like, maybe she's trying to reach out to me, right? So then I get to like, okay, let's Google this. Let's see if songs the way your loved ones who have passed away try to reach you. So there's one guy, like, I don't know what you call people that can talk to the dead.
Mediums.
They have mediums is the most popular name. They have a few names. Medium is the most popular.
Okay, so I was just listening to him because he was telling about the ways, you know, your I guess you call them ancestors.
Yeah,
speak
they're
to
all
you.
ancestors. Yes.
Okay, so your ancestors speak to you or whatever. And then so he just like, he went further into it. He was just like, well, whatever your passion is on earth, or whatever your purpose is or here on earth is what is also in heaven.
That's a fact.
And then, okay, but it's kind of not going with what you said, because then he was just like, you also get to choose what you come back as.
That's a fact.
So he was just,
well, that's also a fact though. They're both contradictory facts. Don't worry about it. I'll break it down. I'll confuse you.
Because then he looked at his cat and he was just like, my cat could have been human and decided to come back as a cat. And I was just like, huh?
That's an extremely rare fact if that was to happen. Extremely rare. That would be descension. The cat would be in second density. Humans would be in third density. While that is technically possible, it would be an extreme rarity that no one would choose.
Okay, because that's what he was saying. He was just like, think about it. If you have a dog and they have human characteristics, sometimes they do or understand the way or act like a child. He was like, that's how he was explaining the whole thing.
Great point. Other way around though. That's in reverse. If you have a dog, if you have a cat, it is your humanness actually being bestowed upon that dog, bestowed upon that cat, that's forcing them to ascend faster than any goldfish. It is you, Talisha. It is you, Renee, forcing that cat to become more human. And in their next life cycle, they may be human because of your healing.
Okay, so that's what's verse. Okay, that.
Yeah, that's what's.
And then one more thing, he also stated any child, like I was saying about the woman who the grandmother about the kids, any
before
child.
You stop, hold on, before you go. I want to say this to everybody. I said this in my head, and I have no idea what she's gonna say. And don't you change your answer, but I want to show y'all that 1-year-old and that 3-year-old she was bringing up, they did not die too soon. They were so ascended. They lived out their full purpose to those parents. And those parents must now receive that and ascend with that. This is why some babies die at 1-year-old, 1 day old, stillborn, etc. That very experience was what they incarnated for. That's very difficult. It seems so unfair, especially if you've had a miscarriage. And I'm not being unfair. but I am telling you what it is, the infinity truth. Anyway, go ahead, Talisha.
So he was also stating that basically, like the little kids, if they die early, like that young, they automatically go to heaven.
That's fair. That would be in. That's fair according to what y'all believe. Okay, this is what I mean by that. That's fair, but that would be somebody who has an eye. That would be someone who is a Protestant. It would not be someone who is Catholic. Someone who is Catholic, Lutheran, Presbyterian. I got you 2 days. They would say, "Was that child baptized?" Because Susan, Grace, Antonio, all are like, "Oh, they are in heaven." And secretly, we all going, "Oh, Lord, have mercy." Did somebody break the curse off that baby? Because we come up. Okay, just to show you, I need some brave folk. Okay.
Children are innocent. Children are
Today's
innocent.
Damali. You're right. No, you're right. You're right, Susan. Children are innocent. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying there's a little somebody in the back of our head go, "Oh, Lord, have mercy." Did that curse get broken? Did that curse get broken? Exactly. That's total depravity. That's total depravity. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you that's what total is. Tulip is what straight Calvinists are. The T in total depravity would make someone fear. Not fear is like doubt, but just secretly go, "Man, I sure hope I sure hope Adonia did
I sure
right."
hope that preacher ain't right about that.
Exactly. Exactly. I sure hope he ain't right. Exactly. Keep going, Talisha. Just want to like keep going. No, you get okay. I was very pleased with this conversation. Okay, I'm gonna get Deanna first, then Trinace, because Deanna sent me something in chat. I want you to explain. Trinace, don't forget, explain what you were saying. Say what you were saying in chat. Susan's gonna love this part of the conversation.
Okay. So I've learned a few different thoughts when it comes to spirituality in general. That's why I consider myself spiritual and not Christian, because I believe.
Hold on, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Let me stop right there. I need to mess y'all head up on this because I hear this all the time. I'm spiritual, not this. Let me just mess your head up. Does God have a religion?
No. That's why I say I'm spiritual and I'm not Christian, because Christianity is a religion.
I'm asking again.
The more I learn, the more I shift. But go ahead.
I'm just asking the question. Does God, like, is God like Nephilim or Wiccan? Or, I don't know about it. You do all you want to, Damali. I'm Muslim. Does God have a religion?
He's all things.
Is God Sikh? Or no? Okay. Just all right. Just it's a different. Hold on, Christians. Let me mess your head up even more, Christians. The first question was for everybody. Second question for Christians. This is hard. My professor asked me in Otis. God dog it. I'm finna do y'all so bad. In 2012, I was asked a question I still been struggling with today, Phil. It is unfair question. I hate this question was never asked. My professor on day one said, "Forget y'all syllabus. Forget y'all books. I got one question, and we're gonna spend the rest of the semester answering this question. Can God die?"
Can I answer that?
No.
I'm gonna give it a shot. No, because he's source. He's energy. It doesn't disappear. It can't. It keeps going.
But you a big Jesus believer, though. How can you say that?
I'm a big what?
You're a big Jesus believer. How can you say that? Jesus died on the cross.
Yeah, but he rose again.
Jesus died on the cross.
Then he
Doesn't matter
rose
if he rose again.
But Jesus wasn't God. Jesus was a man. So
You can't say Jesus was a man as a
yes, you can.
Christian. You get well, you true, but you can't say Jesus was only a man.
Yes, I
as a
can. He was
Christian.
fully man. That's what's wrong with Christians today. Read the Bible. The Bible don't say Jesus was God. The Bible says Jesus was fully man. What you talking about?
My professor Ben Blackwell, Dr. Ben Blackwell, is who I'm crediting right now, would say all of y'all are right. He is the person who told me both and what he would tell you, Damali, is write a paper about it and prove it. What he would tell you, Talisha, is write a paper about it and prove it. The truth is, we are not answering this question. It just doesn't, it has no definitive answer. Sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Let me dumb it down even more. Can God create a rock that he can't pick up?
Absolutely not. The rock will be God. The rock itself. If God created a rock more God, then the rock is now God. It's just that simple. Tracy says his flesh died away, his spirit didn't, but you're not allowed to separate Jesus like that. It's in the Nicene Creed. They have 4 councils. They have 4 councils. They have 4 councils for this in Nicaea, that you can't separate the flesh from the spirit. No different than I'm not saying you are. I'm saying our words have these consequences and parameters. Consequences being what you're doing, parameters being limits. Our words do this here. You're not answering this. Hey, yeah, they've been arguing about this since folks been thinking. We're not answering this question. Okay, we're not answering this question. I told you I've been trying to answer these questions in 2012, and I wrote a paper on it. I got an 85, and I was mad. How dare you give me an 85? I thought I had 100. Because my answer was, Tracy, I'm with you. My answer was, well, he didn't die. He gave up his spirit. He sacrificed himself. Sacrifice it. Because what I was trying to do, because here's the deal. Let me tell you the problem. Get ready, Donna. Let me tell you the problem with Jesus dying. The problem with Jesus dying is the wages of sin is death. So if you say Jesus died, you also say Jesus sinned. That's a major hook in your argument, because all who have died have sinned. That's Romans 5:12-22, and you're not allowed to pick it out the Bible and then hold your argument. You're not allowed to. So the question becomes, Melissa, can God die? And then you prove it with the Bible that God can or God cannot. And it is not an answerable question. And if you ask me, it ain't supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. It is supposed to be a question that forces you on the
Shall the thing form say how? The thing form. How did you form me?
That's right. It's a question that's supposed to push you to the truth. Yeah, it was a fun class, Jerome. He was my favorite professor. He was my favorite professor. Can God die? Anyway, Deanna, I stopped you because you were saying some stuff, but you see how I messed your head up? I messed everybody's head up. Y'all gonna wonder that for the rest of your life. You gonna wonder that for the rest of your life. Can God die? The wages, the wages of sin is spiritual death. My mom ain't spiritually died, she dead. She is worm food right now.
But she didn't die from the sins in flesh.
That's
when you sin, you don't automatically die in flesh. When you sin, your spirit wasn't dying until you renew or repent. Or so when you're saying death, in what aspect of death? Because
okay, see, but that's the deal. This is what my professor, Dr. Ben Blackwell, is exactly the reason why I can take questions at any time. Because his whole class was ask me a question at any time, interrupt me at any time. And then he'd never agree with anything because it was always both and. So I am literally a reflection of Dr. Ben Blackwell, always. Like literally, like they'll say he was my biggest influence. He was my number one influence over my theology, both and. I'm not telling you Tracy wrong, but then I could counter Tracy by saying, well, what my mama body doing? What a mind doing? And then she would have to say, well, it's a spiritual mind. And I'm not telling you that's wrong. I'm just telling you we get to have fun and ask, well, can we separate the two? It's a good question. And I'm not trying to be right. What I'm trying to do is every week, I want y'all to get so mad at me. You go, let me read my damn book for myself. And Phil and Susan, no, I won. If you do that, I won. If you go read whatever you're reading just to prove me wrong, I have won. Because I'm not trying to let you stay undisrupted. In the words of Lisa Nichols, I came here to disrupt your soil. You've been stagnant long enough. Now we need you, a tree planted by the water. That's a scripture for Grace and Jerome. They always know which ones. That's Psalms chapter 1. By the way.
I want to ask a question.
Okay, you go ahead, Diana.
I was going to take it in a whole different direction. I was going to say that there were other gods in other places, like Greeks, Romans, ancient Africa, whatever. And nobody follows those gods at all. Nobody follows those gods at all anymore. Nope. Nobody prays to them, anything. Zeus, anybody ever sit around praying to Zeus? So in effect, that God is dead because nobody uses it. They don't. The people have outgrown that God. So typically, that's it.
No, what you said is the most accurate and probably most intelligent thing in the last 30 minutes, because your Bible admits there are multiple gods. One true living God is what your Bible says. It recognizes the existence of other gods. It's called henotheism, is what that word means. The recognizing of many gods. That's not polytheism. Polytheism is many gods. The recognizing of many gods, but one big God to rule them all. It's like Lord of the Rings, one ring to rule them all. That's what the Bible actually preaches. I was talking to somebody. I'm gonna come back to that. Go ahead, Deanna. Go ahead.
I believe.
Oh, I love when people say I believe. I'm so intrigued with this conversation already.
That those that have passed away are in permanent astral plane.
Yes. We call that purgatory in regular language. That's why I told you talk about that. That's called purgatory.
So as the living, we can astral plane. And there is a cord that's connected to us in our spirit as we travel throughout the planes. Well, upon death, that cord is permanently severed.
Permanently? But then you don't believe in reincarnation if it's permanently. So you mean permanently severed during that timeline?
Yeah. Okay. For that, because we are spirit, we are energy. Energy. Someone said earlier, energy can never be.
Okay, so stop right there. So what she has right now is a very Platonic idea of life force right now. Platonic, said the reason you have Platonic friends is because Melissa and Antonio are friends in spirit. My spirit sees Melissa's spirit, and we platonically spirit one another because Plato believed in a realm of the spirits or heaven or source. Half of y'all Christian theology is Plato philosophy. And it should be. Let me just clear that up. It should be. Plato, who walked before Jesus, made sense of your New Testament before it came.
I'm gonna just say I can't stand Jamal. Just look at the comments, okay?
Or she won't give you no play because you can't friend.
You the friend zone. You the friend zone.
You can't friend zone me. I don't get friend zone. Friend zone is a place that don't exist. It exists for losers. It don't exist for me. Anywho, so now you in the spirit realm. I'm helping your argument downstairs so you can get some amens. So Deanna has a very high view of spirit realm, as she should. And Plato told the truth, an angle of the truth, but the truth nonetheless. So before you discount what Deanna is saying, because it ain't told by your pastor, it's still the truth. All right, Talisa, you ain't gotta put me on mute. I'm not gonna say nothing. That's you go ahead. All right, go ahead, Deanna.
So my ancestors.
Speak hard, speak freely, don't be humble.
So I can still talk to my ancestors. I can still talk to my grandparents, my cousins, my ancestors that I've never met because they're not gone.
Or because you're not gone from the spirit world. That's a thought.
I was about to say that too, because I am also spirit. I am also energy. Conversations with God. When we sleep, our spirit leaves our body so that it may rest as well.
And be recharged.
And be recharged. Well, where else would it recharge at? It would recharge where my grandmothers are. It will recharge where my grandfathers are. It will recharge where my ancestors are.
And to your point, the first religion in the world and the first thousands of religions in the world believe that, because all religions come from Africa. And all religions, whether you like it or not, also flow from witchcraft. Go ahead. Witchcraft was the first religion. Keep going.
So that's why I don't miss them like I used to, because I still get to talk to them. Like my grandmother, every now and then she'll, ring my little bell, say, hey, you ain't been here in a while, but yeah. I'm like, okay, Granny, I'm coming. Like, okay. But
that's called necromancy or medium or divination. There's many names for it.
I think Grandma got on me yesterday. I was passing by to go to my pastor's wife's house down there on Old and having to look up and saw that apartment complex. Wait a minute. All right, Grandma, I'm gonna come see you.
So did Grandma leave and she's talking to you in Earth, or are you getting more distortions off of you and you're being more connected to Deanna's astral plane place?
The latter.
The answer is actually both and. But I'm gonna let Deanna keep going so she can talk it out. But I'm gonna hit her with it's actually both and. The answer is both. Susan's mother still talks to her, but the more Susan endures every day and gets wiser and happier, Susan talks to her mother more than her mother talks to her.
I just immediately have a question. I'm sorry, Deanna.
No, you good? No, you're good.
I have a
She
question.
all right.
Okay. I understand you. We are all offspring of God.
There's only one offspring of God.
Right. I didn't say an S on that offspring. No,
Okay,
we are offspring of God. Now, if I talk to Grandma,
talk to me
more than I talk to God, is that bad?
That only in your religion, never in your sacred text, and never in your reality. Only in your organized religion would that be bad. Wait a minute. I
heard you.
Susan, I hit a pain point amongst many. Let me put my weight on it. Deanna, don't forget. Let me scoot this back.
I won't, but I'm gonna mute on this one.
Okay, let me put my weight on it. Grace asked. So I talked to Grandma more than I talked to God. How dare? And Grandma said, God, well, you serving Your grandmother, not God. Jerome, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord high and lifted up. His train filled the temple. Come
Watch
on,
it.
I'm in here, Tracy.
You got Tracy praise dancing over here. Keep going.
Because I got anything Old Testament I got memorized. I'm telling y'all, it's not a joke. I got the whole Old Testament memorized. My degrees are in it.
My story. Keep going.
Okay. My degrees are in it. His train filled the temple, and smoke filled the temple, and the angels and cherubim said, "Holy." One more time, Jerome. Holy is his name. And looked up, y'all. You already know. You heard me say this before. Can I help y'all out? Now, this is what truly happened. This is everything about this is a shout cue, but this is what truly happened. If you read Chronicles, which is just a good retelling of everything of Hebraic history, King Azariah also named Uzziah reigned for 52 years. So King Azariah, you can look it up yourself, and King Uzziah, Grace, while I'm talking, Google King Azariah, Azariah, Chronicles, just so they know I ain't making this up. King Azariah and King Uzziah are the same person. Became king at 8 years old, raised by his uncle, went on up, reigned for 52 years. And here's the crazy part, Jerome.
I put in Azariah and it came from Uzziah.
That's because Grace. That's because look, Uzziah, also known as Azariah, was the 10th king. That's right here in Wikipedia. It's right there, cuz I said, come on, it's right there.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
All right, stop your screen, Grace. See, Susan, sometimes you gotta let folk know you in the Bible. Yes, so sometimes you gotta leave some. This is what I do. You gotta let folk know you in the Bible. I ain't making this up, Tracy. I'm in the Bible. King Uzziah is King Azariah, and you get Uzziah's history. See, in Isaiah, you get Uzziah's power, but in Chronicles, you get Uzziah's history. And King Azariah, who is Uzziah, reigned for 52 years. And as long as the king was on the throne, Damali, the folk had peace. They didn't just have peace. I dare you to go look it up. Extra biblical literature said the same thing, and Chronicles said the thing. They had silver in the streets. They literally, y'all know that the side paneling in the house. You know what I'm talking about? What I call it? What you call it? You call it. So it ain't called side panel. It's called something. You know what I'm talking about? Otis looking at it right now.
Not crown molding, huh?
That's siding.
Okay.
The crown molding. It was silver. Do you understand how much balling your country got to be when the corner of your little nasty roof is silver? It's got a roach and a spider hanging on silver. Can't even hang up there. It's too slick. It's silver. King Azariah, Uzziah, reigned so good, 52 years. Folk never had a war. Folk never had an enemy. All they had was wealth. And then he died, Trinace. He died so big. Grace, Google it for me. King Azariah, King Uzziah died and an earthquake happened. It's not in the Bible, but it's written by the Assyrians. It's written by the Assyrians in they text. It's written by the Assyrians. This man died so tough, Otis, that the ground opened up, killed a whole bunch of people. And now, Grace, no, in fact, you don't Google that. Okay, go ahead. You can.
I did. Well, this was suddenly struck with leprosy. Well, I don't know. I don't know Wikipedia.
Well, that's fair too. Hold on, but you stop. Look, okay. Evidence of biblical earthquake from the day. This is the second one. Look right there, cuz. Grace, I do this for a living. I'm never gonna say nothing outside the Bible. Evidence of a biblical earthquake for the days of King Uzziah founded Jerusalem for the first time. Stop your thing. It's 2021. Stop that. They've been knowing, but now they found evidence. Now listen, Grace, I'm trying to help you. As a matter of fact, no more questions. Let me help you. Let me help everybody. Uzziah died, Melissa, and all the people of Jerusalem went broke. Their wealth went bankrupt. No. We've been through this in America, haven't we? It was real good when Clinton was president, wasn't it, Phil? Come on now, don't fool me now. It was. Oh, Clinton had it good. No, Clinton had it good. Guess who else had it good? Obama. Obama had it so good, we got a whole phrase out of it called unicorns. Who knows what a unicorn is? $100 billion companies ain't never made a profit. Obama was shelling out money so much. Had everybody thinking they could start a business between 2008 and 2016. You ain't never seen entrepreneurship came cool. Entrepreneurship was trash up until Obama became president. That's the truth. When Phil was an entrepreneur, he was a punk. You know, that's what they call him with the spike hair. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they call him. I'm not saying he was a punk. I'm saying this is what they called him. You know, had the spike hair, and you know yeah. Obama had, yeah. So I need you to get, Grace, that what happened was they went into poverty, and Isaiah goes, I just want my king. All right, Deanna knows the rest of this story. Let me pull this here. I just want my king. Oh no, keep your daughter right here. Keep your daughter right here. I want my king. And I want you to hear this. When Isaiah needed God the most, God did not show up as God. God showed up as a king. Listen to the text, Isaiah, Jerome.
Watch yourself.
I saw the Lord high and lifted up. You're missing it. Sometimes, let me go to the end.
Grandma. He showed up as grandma.
Sometimes, Grace, when you need God the most, God will show up as grandma since you're hurting the most. Can I push it around to everybody else? Sometimes God will show up as your best friend because you miss your best friend. God will show up as your knight in shining armor because you miss your knight in shining armor. God will show up as stability because you miss stability. Especially you women who tired of dating men leading you to poverty. Amen. God will show up as stability and wealth. So Grace, don't you ever let nobody tell you praying to grandmother ain't praying to God. There's only one of us in the room. Do you hear me? God frequently shows up in your lack and what you lack, not in your imagination. Because your imagination, who knows what I'm talking about, is trash. It's real hard to have a good imagination, Otis, when you're broke. It's just, and you can let it go play with the, you know, she can go play with the clothes hangers and stuff, Talisha. Yeah. She can go do push-ups on the commercial break and stuff. I just wanted to hear that. She got it. She go to bed. Okay, then. That's Don to be playing with the clothes hangers. Look, hear me well, y'all. Hear me well. Let me tell you about the story of Isaiah. Grace, what belongs in the king's temple? The king, huh?
The king, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What does the king wear?
A robe.
Mm-hmm. The robe filled the temple, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm making it make sense to Jerome. I'm making it make sense to Jerome. Wait. How did? Wait. Jerome gets it. He gets it. Grace, what belongs in the temple, Grace?
What belongs in the temple? Jesus.
Jesus is the
Temple.
the priest, the prophet, and the
king.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now watch this here. Hold on, Trinace. Watch this here. And the king wears a what?
A robe.
And the robe has a train.
Right.
But this king's train filled the temple.
Yeah.
Where was the king sitting in Uzziah's story?
High and lifted up.
On the throne.
Mm-hmm.
So the king was supposed to be there, Otis. Can I do it? The train was supposed to be there, Otis, Damali. The temple was supposed to be there. So the temple was in the right place. The king was in the right place. The train was in the right place. And the angels giving worship to the kings was in the right place. And Isaiah looked around and said, woe is me. I'm the only thing in here that ain't supposed to be in here. That is in your text. Woe is me. And watch this here. And then from upon high, an angel touched the only thing that can stop Talisha. Tell him what it was. What did the angel put the coal on, Jerome?
On his lips.
I'm so glad you read your Bible. The only thing that can stop Talisha from being kingly, the only thing that can make Talisha not belong in that room with the throne, with the robe, with the smoke, Holy Spirit, with the king, with the temple, and with the angels was her lips.
You better stop, boy.
Jerome, I'm in here, Jerome. and then that cherubim says, you with me now. And I love Isaiah's response. Here am I, Lord. Finish it, Jerome. Finish it, Jerome. Finish it, Jerome.
Send me.
You
ain't right, boy.
You may think I'm making this up. This ain't no Bible lesson.
That's in the book. That's in you ain't making this up.
A bunch of folk who couldn't read wrote this down. You hear me? They're trying to tell you something. Grace, they're trying to tell you that the only people that's going to tell you unholy is folk who don't belong in that temple.
Now that's a word right there. That's a word.
Watch it.
The only folk that's going to tell Melissa, don't worry about that moonlight, is folk who don't belong in that temple. Don't you charge them crystals, folk who don't belong in that temple. They haven't been touched by the angel. Beware of folk in your life, Trinace, that ain't been touched by the angel. If your marriage ain't been touched by the angel, you got a whole bad marriage. If your spouse ain't been touched by the angel, you got a whole bad marriage. What should be touched on your doggone mouth? It's your mouth that kills your spouse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's your mouth that kills your dreams. It is only your mouth that can plant them seeds. Well, it's actions, yeah, but before you did it, Grace, you said they got me messed up, didn't you? Outside your mouth.
That's it.
Look, I just got a message that says, shut the up respectfully. I ain't gonna tell you who it's from. Amen. Amen. I do understand. It's your mouth that gets you messed up. She done posted out there for everybody to see it. You're like, I ain't hiding. This is simple grace. It is your mouth that's got you not being a path bender. It's your mouth that doesn't let you be happy. It's your mouth that doesn't let you start a new life. It's your mouth that lets you disagree with everything Trinae say. Ain't your job to disagree with Trinae's theology. Your job is to say, wow, can you tell me more about how you think? But we think we got to correct everybody. What the hell are you saving Trinae from? What you saving Tracy from? Is she breathing? Then she blessed. And if she blessed, she ain't in hell. Is she breathing? Then she blessed. And if she's blessed, she is not in hell. And let me end you with this here. And I want you all to get it from the bottom of your spirits. This ain't got nothing to do with religion. And pathbender, we respect all religions. This has everything to do with the fact that you're supposed to start a whole new life and be happy. And more than likely, Talisha, religion and all them other things you didn't put emotion on is stopping you from starting a new life and are stopping you from being happy. Well, you don't know what Melissa did to me. Melissa ain't do nothing to you. Melissa did something, but it wasn't to you. No, you don't understand. She directed at me. Did you take it personally? Yes, but then it's your fault. She ain't do it to you. So you didn't like that. You didn't like that at all. If you got offended by what Antonio has done, Antonio didn't do that to you, Talisha. You did that to you. You had a choice to ignore me.
Shut up. Shut up.
Respectfully.
Shut up. You ain't right, boy. You, Damali, he ain't right.
You had a whole option. You cannot bend your path with anything that we talked about today. If you, the main point, so the mission of today was for me to teach you how to be a both and person. That's the mission, the real mission of the day. Next week, I'm gonna talk about the same thing, if maybe, or I'll bring it back up. But we're gonna go higher in it. And I really want you to start a new life. And I really want you to be happy. You cannot be a path bender in the old life. You can't put new wine in old skins. You can't be the same wife in a new marriage. Ooh, that hurts some of y'all. Some of y'all genuinely think, well, as soon as Phil do what the hell I say do, I could feel better about my life. Nah, you missed it. You missed it.
Abraham said that all the time. Every time
all the time. As soon as Phil do what I said, I can enjoy myself. If you waiting on Antonio to do what you said to enjoy yourself, I'm gonna let you down every single day. I always cry when I hear about or talk about the story of Isaiah. It's a good story. My last words, we get out of here on time. Trinae, this wasn't about nothing, but you need to be both and. I don't like that. That's why you can't bend your path. Anybody who doesn't like something cannot be a path bender. Well, I just don't like the way they did that. Can't bend your path. The only thing on this planet that you are allowed to not like if there's anything, is the flat out injustice, murder, homicide of somebody who did not see it coming. So if you want to be mad at something, be mad at yourself. Yeah, I'm not feeling like this. Who was that? I mean, who that said about school shootings? Was that you, Tracy?
That was me. I need to make a correction. It was 129, the 129th mass shooting. I think it's the 19th school shooting of this year.
You act like 19. You act like 19. Still, we still would have said.
I know. No, it's still,
whoa,
yeah,
19.
it's still one is too many. Well, I just wanted to, yeah.
How many school shootings we had this year, Grace?
19.
How many mass shootings?
129.
If you want to be mad, oh, don't be mad at 129 mass shootings. Oh no. And don't be mad at 19 mass school shootings until you can't say that children are dying. You're right. Be mad that we sat here silently and let our politicians get away with it. Be mad that we let that be okay. That's what you be mad at, not them. We let 40,000 children die a day from starvation because we sitting here be quiet because we don't believe in both and. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't play it better. You can dominate. Love you, everybody.
Love
you more.
Have a good one.
Good night.
See you next Thursday.
Bye.